Work-life balance, have you achieved it?
Work-life balance, I think in the early stages, work was life and there wasn't much of a split between them. I think when you're in your mid-20s working on an idea you're passionate about, it doesn't really matter if you work all night, you're working with your friends anyway, so it's a pretty all-consuming, but it's fun. I mean, you work long hours, you go out in the evenings, you do all things like that.
You know, the problem is, of course, is if it's your own business, you think about it the whole time. So even if you're not working at the weekend, it'll be ticking over in the background.
The thing about any founder or startup entrepreneur will know is it is your passion. So it tends to be all-consuming. It's something that you kind of eat, sleep, breathe, dream about. And there's a real joy and a pleasure in that, something that you really care about yourself. But there's also a cost to that, because if you're not careful, you start to let go of the other things that you need to function successfully in life. So whether that's, to some people's extent, is eating properly, going to the gym, but also your relationships.
And then in our case, Wendy and I got married, we had children during the journey. And I think that changes things fundamentally, and you can't invest the same kind of energy that you did when you had, frankly, very little else going on responsibility-wise. So it's a constant fight to try and retain a balance in it.
I was both unlucky and lucky that my partner and now husband was in the business with me. So in some ways that's great because I have a huge understanding of what you're going through, the highs and the lows. But the downside is that you can both get sucked into that together. And in our case now we have children and a family. Keeping that balance is very important. And one of the things we've learnt over 15 years is to invest in the structures to make sure you keep that work-life balance. So in our case, whether that's we have, for example, a coach we both go to together as a couple, as individuals, but also with Eric as a founding team. So we keep our work-life personal investment very clear. We also, though, try to integrate it, so we know that how we feel at home affects us at work and vice versa. And making sure that you are the same person who works at home and understanding what makes you tick is really important. It's also something obviously we've tried to provide to the whole company because we actually believe in it that much that if you aren't happy again at home or at work, it affects the opposite place where you are. I think that's very important.
The top tip for work-life balance is probably just to take holidays, even if you think you don't need them, or it seems like it's an inconvenience or getting in the way of things, and to encourage your team to do the same. Because the truth is, coming back from it, you'll be far more productive than you were before you left. And I think that last hour of additional work, either late at night or on the 15th day in a row working, whatever it actually is far less productive than the one that you do when you come back and you realise half of what you've been doing for the last couple of weeks is a waste of time anyway. So I definitely take holidays, structure them in, book them in, and get your team to do likewise.
Free from your bedside unit, and we start with this from Duran Duran. So the thing I get asked most about when people visit my website is, how did you get the big banner? And I'll show you how in this little video. So you need to go to bannersnack.com, and once you sign in, you'll be presented with this screen.